If your toddler isn't talking yet, you're probably lying awake at night wondering if everything's okay. 3 years ago, I sat in my pediatrician's office with my 22-month-old daughter who hadn't said a single word, and the doctor told me something that changed everything. But here's what shocked me most. I had missed 5 major warning signs that were hiding in plain sight. Hey everyone, I'm Sarah, and I've spent the last 5 years working alongside pediatric speech-language pathologists, and I'm also a parent who's been exactly where you are right now. Today, I'm breaking down the 6 red flags that even caring, attentive parents miss when it comes to speech delays, and more importantly, what you can actually do about them. Some of these might surprise you, because they're not just about the words your child isn't saying. First, let me say this. Every child develops at their own pace, and late talking doesn't automatically mean there's a problem. Einstein didn't speak until he was 4. But, and this is crucial, some children are showing us signs that they need support, and catching these early can make a world of difference. According to the American Speech-Language Hearing Association, early intervention before age 3 produces significantly better outcomes than waiting until kindergarten. So, let's talk about what to actually watch for. And red flag number 4? It's something 90% of parents think is completely normal. Red flag number 1. Your toddler rarely tries to communicate in any way. Here's the thing most parents don't realize. Before words come gestures, and before gestures comes intent. If your 18-month-old isn't pointing at things they want, not bringing you toys to show you, and not making eye contact when they need something, that's actually more concerning than the lack of words. Let me tell you about Marcus. His mom brought him in at 20 months because he only said mama. But what really caught our attention was that Marcus didn't point to the cookie jar when he wanted a snack. He didn't wave bye-bye. He didn't shake his head no. He had 0 gestural communication. This told us it wasn't just about forming words, it was about the desire and ability to connect with others. The science. Research published in the Journal of Speech, Language, and Hearing Research shows that children who lack communicative intent by 18 months, meaning they're not trying to share experiences or get needs met through any form of communication, are at higher risk for language disorders. What to do? Start modeling gestures consistently. When you hand your child their cup, say cup, and make a drinking gesture. Point to objects and name them throughout the day. Make communication irresistible by creating opportunities where they need to communicate. Put favorite toys just out of reach. Pause during favorite songs and wait for them to signal more. Red flag number 2. They've lost words or skills they once had. This one is non-negotiable. If your toddler used to say ball, dog, or more, and now they don't, even if it's just a few words, you need to talk to your pediatrician immediately. This is called regression, and while it doesn't always indicate something serious, it's one of the clearest signals that professional evaluation is needed. Studies show that regression in language or social skills can be an early indicator of autism spectrum disorder or other developmental conditions, but it can also be related to hearing loss or other treatable conditions. I remember Sarah's story vividly. At 14 months, she had about 10 words. By 18 months, she was silent. It turned out Sarah had chronic ear infections that went undetected. Her hearing was muffled, so she stopped trying to use words because she couldn't hear herself or others clearly. Once treated, her language exploded. What to do? Document what her child could do before and schedule an appointment with your pediatrician within the week. Ask for a hearing test first. This is always the starting point. Don't wait to see if it gets better. Has anyone experienced regression with their toddler? Share in the comments. Your story might help another parent. Red flag number 3. They don't respond to their name or simple directions. By 12 months, most toddlers consistently turn when you call their name. By 18 months, they should follow simple one-step commands without gestures, like get your shoes or give me the ball. Here's what I see parents explain away all the time. Oh, he's just very focused, or she's selective about listening. And yes, toddlers can be stubborn. But if your 20-month-old genuinely doesn't respond when you call their name from behind them, even in a quiet room, that's worth investigating. The science. Research from the Journal of Autism and Developmental Disorders indicates that lack of response to name is one of the earliest distinguishing features of autism, present in children as young as 12 months. but it can also indicate hearing problems or auditory processing issues. What to do? Test this informally. When your child is engaged in play, but it's quiet, say their name from behind them at normal volume. Do they turn at least 80% of the time? If not, mention this specifically to your doctor. Also, start pairing their name with touch. Gently tap their shoulder while saying their name, so they learn to associate the two. Now, red flag number 4 is one that pediatricians specifically ask about, but parents rarely connect to speech. Red flag number 4, limited play skills or repetitive behaviors. This surprises parents every time. You might wonder, what does play have to do with talking? Everything. Language develops through play. If your toddler only lines up toys instead of pretending with them, only spins wheels instead of pushing cars, or has very limited, repetitive play, this tells us about their symbolic thinking, which is the foundation for language. I watched 23-month-old Liam during his evaluation. He had about 5 words total. But what stood out was that for 30 minutes he only opened and closed doors on a toy house. Open, close, nothing else. No pretending the people were going inside, no vroom with the car. This repetitive play pattern was actually more informative than his word count. What to do? Expand play activities by modeling. Sit with your child and show them new ways to use toys. Make the animals talk to each other. Have dolls eat pretend food, crash cars, and say, uh-oh. Don't force it, just model and invite them to join. If they resist any change in routine or become very distressed, note this for your pediatrician. Red flag number 5, no babbling or sound experimentation. Before words, babies babble. We're talking strings of sounds, bababa, da-da-da, mama, starting around 6 to 9 months. If your toddler is 15 to 18 months and never went through a babbling phase, or is very quiet overall, this is significant. Here's what the research tells us. A study in Pediatrics journal found that babies who didn't babble by 10 months were more likely to have speech and language delays later. Babbling is literally your baby's speech practice. They're testing out sounds, learning how their mouth works, and experimenting with communication. What to do? Babble back. When your child makes any sound, repeat it with enthusiasm. Make it a game. Exaggerate your mouth movements so they can see how sounds are formed. Sing nursery rhymes slowly, emphasizing different sounds. The key is making sound fun and interactive. Red flag number 6. You're the only one who understands them or no one does. By age 2, strangers should understand about 50% of what your toddler says. By 3, that number jumps to 75%. If only you can decode your child's communication, or if you can't understand them either, that's worth addressing. I'll never forget Maya. At 28 months, she talked constantly, but it was completely unintelligible jargon. Her parents said she's very verbal, but the words weren't clear, and even they couldn't understand what she wanted most of the time. This type of pattern can indicate apraxia of speech, a motor planning disorder, where the brain has trouble telling the mouth what to do. The key distinction: some toddlers say words that are approximations, BA for ball, Wawa for water. That's normal. But if you're hearing a lot of sounds that don't resemble any words at all, or your child seems frustrated that you're not understanding, get it checked out. What to do? Keep a log of the words your child says and how clearly they say them. When you talk to your pediatrician, you'll want specifics. In the meantime, focus on clarity over quantity. It's better to have 5 clear words than 20 mumblings. At what age did your toddler become understandable to others? Let me know below. So what should you actually do? Okay, so you've recognized one or more of these red flags. Don't panic, but don't wait either. Here's your action plan. Step 1. Schedule a well-child visit with your pediatrician and bring this specific list of concerns. Don't minimize what you're seeing. Doctors rely on parent observations. Step 2. Request a hearing test. This is non-negotiable and should always be first. Many speech delays are simply due to fluid in the ears or temporary hearing loss that's completely treatable. Step 3. Ask about early intervention services. In the U.S., every state has a free early intervention program for children under 3. You can actually refer yourself without a doctor's order. Just Google your state early intervention program. They'll do a free evaluation. Step 4. While you wait for appointments, start implementing these strategies at home. Narrate your day. Mommy is washing dishes. The water is warm. Get down to your child's level when you speak. Limit screen time, which research from JAMA Pediatrics has associated with language delays. Read books together daily, letting your child turn pages and point to pictures. Step 5. Trust your instincts. You know your child better than anyone. If something feels off, pursue it. The worst-case scenario of early intervention? Your child gets extra support and attention. There's literally no downside. A quick story. Remember my daughter I mentioned at the beginning? She started speech therapy at 22 months. Within 6 months, she went from 0 words to speaking in sentences. Today, at age 5, you'd never know she had a delay. But if I had waited, her outcome might have been different. Early intervention works. Let's recap. So, to recap, the 6 red flags that parents often miss are: 1. No attempts to communicate in any form, no gestures, no eye contact for needs. 2. Loss of words or skills they once had. 3. Not responding to their name or simple directions. 4. Limited, repetitive play without imagination. 5. No babbling or sound experimentation. 6. Unintelligible speech that even you can't understand. Remember, seeing 1 or 2 of these doesn't automatically mean there's a problem, but it does mean you should get professional input. You're not overreacting. You're being a proactive, loving parent. If this video helped you, please hit that like button so more parents can find this information. Subscribe and turn on notifications because next week, I'm breaking down the exact phrases speech therapists use to explode language development, and you can use them at home starting tomorrow. And here's my question for you. What age did your toddler start talking, and was there anything specific that helped? Share your story in the comments. Your experience might be exactly what another worried parent needs to hear today. You've got this. Your child is lucky to have a parent who cares enough to seek out information and help. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.